I thought a lot about self-worth and what that means, and I think I was finding a lot of my identity and my worth in my success or failure. If I do that, my worth is not worth very much. But if my worth is found in Jesus, then I am very worthy because he is infinitely worthy.
It's Joy FM. We're here with Steven Stanley. So excited that I get to sit down with you and just kind of pick your brain a little bit.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
All right, well, let's dive in. I know that you have a daughter.
Yes.
And how old is she?
She'll be 2 in October.
Oh, my word. Yeah. So I also have a 1 and 5 month old or whatnot. She turns 2 in February. And so I feel like we are kind of we're in that stage right now of parenting. And it's wild to me. This is what I've learned. I am going to ask you what you've learned. So be thinking about that. What I've learned is that it's like truly every week, every month, as soon as I hit something hard where I'm like, she's a biter. That's just the way she is, you know, then she grows out of it. Right.
Yeah.
And so it's like they change so quickly.
Yeah.
So I'm just curious, what is your biggest surprise of parenting? What's something you've learned? I mean, as a dad, that's a whole new world to jump into.
I think, honestly, the biggest thing I've learned is how much stuff doesn't matter, like comparatively. Yeah. So I think that's just the most important thing for me. And it's been great just to have perspective on life. It's like, oh my gosh, this is what everybody talks about when they have a kid. It's wild. And then the best advice I got, somebody's like, hey, every phase lasts 2 weeks. I was like, okay, we can do that. You know,
it's so smart. It's such good advice. That's awesome. Okay, when you say nothing matters, can you be a little more specific? Because I know what you mean, but I just want to make sure that people are like, wow, Steven Stanley.
No, yeah, no, totally. It's just like, I think maybe thinking about my career and like what I do for music, it's like I love it and I'm passionate about it and I'm going to work hard, but it doesn't matter as much as she does, you know, and my wife. It's like, I don't know. It just puts things into perspective.
Yeah, your priorities.
Yeah, so it's not like nothing matters.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
It just doesn't matter as much.
Right.
I don't know. And I just realize that I'm more aware of it now.
I feel like that when I get various stains on my clothes and I'm like, wow, this never happened before. And here we are.
Yeah.
I guess we're just moving on. Okay, that's awesome. So I have just so many questions based on like just some of the research that I've done. Obviously, this is our first time chatting, but I'm curious, when is the time that you have had to be brave?
Oh, I'd say I was talking to some folks here today. I'm working on my second album right now, and a lot of it's about trust. And, you know, I won't go into like the specifics on it, but there was a few things where I wasn't trusting God. And I needed to do some really hard things, and I was avoiding it. And it kind of I needed to be brave to, like, you know, actually do these things. So, but once I did them, it was like, okay, this is what you wanted me to do all the time, the whole time, and I should have just listened. So a lot of my second record is about trust. The whole thing's about trust. So, yeah.
I think we can all learn that lesson over and over and over. I mean, it's the same kind of concept of like, I know I should work out, but I really don't want to. And then afterwards you're like, woo, I feel great. This is amazing.
Right.
And like, but in the moment or like leading up to it, the anxiety of releasing that
Totally.
control or like diving into something hard is just, it can be overwhelming.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. So with Whatever It Takes, your latest song, I mean, I get mid 2000s rock. Like it very much scratches an itch inside my brain that I go, oh my word. I haven't heard a song like that in a while, and I love it. I love it. So I'm curious, who dominated your playlists growing up?
Oh my gosh. Well, it kind of spans all over. So my mom taught me how to play music. She taught me how to play guitar and taught me how to play piano. But all my influences come from my dad. So he loved 70s and 80s rock and even like some disco and things like that. But so he introduced me to like Led Zeppelin or Journey, you know, all those bands. So I think probably when I was a kid though, like I loved Lifehouse and The Fray. Yes. So that's probably where that 2000s reference comes from. And a lot of their melodies, I can definitely. I was on tour with Mike Donaghy from 10th Avenue North, and he's like, dude, you sound like this sounds like Lifehouse. Just like today's version of it.
Right, and that's what we want.
Yeah, I love it. Yeah.
We're ready for it. Oh my word, that's
Take
awesome.
it as a huge compliment. Thank you.
No, it's fantastic, and it is funny because I grew up like in the church, very much like youth group kid, and so it was like there's something about that Christian culture at the time.
You're all I want. Yeah. The whole skit. Did you ever see the skit video? Oh my gosh, everybody. And then Colton Dixon did it on American Idol. I watched that whole season, and I'm like, yeah, dude. You're like, come on.
My guy. My guy. That's awesome. All right. So a couple years ago, and you shared this on your Instagram, that you went through a bit of a mental health journey. And in that time, you wrote over 300 songs. How did Whatever It Takes rise to the top of the pack to be the one that you kind of wanted to bring to the world right now?
Yeah. That song is about self-worth. At least that's what it means to me. And there's a lot to do with anxiety and depression. There's a lot of that language in that song. But I thought a lot about self-worth and what that means. And I think I was finding a lot of my identity and my worth in my success or failure or things I do or don't do. And I think that just, if I do that, my worth is not worth very much, if that makes sense. But if my worth is found in Jesus, then I am very worthy because he is infinitely worthy. So, I think that song just means so much to me because it's the heart of the problem. Like the first line of the chorus is, I've been reckless with my heart. It's like, okay, if I hate myself, if I don't think I'm worthy for anything, that's reckless. That's a terrible way to live, especially when Jesus died on a cross and said, this is how much you're worth. So, yeah, that song means a whole lot to me.
I just love that perspective because it's so personal. Like I think that, there's something about me saying that to you versus you saying that to you.
Yeah.
And so I think people will hear that and that it's just a really genuine heart cry.
Yeah,
so
for sure.
I appreciate that. Thanks for sharing. All right, so now it's my favorite time of the interview. Time for the Disco Ball of Fun! Disco Ball of Fun! So this disco ball is full of questions that me and a few of us have written. Some serious, mostly a little goofy.
I like it.
Little off the wall. You have this card that you can use if you'd like to not answer a question and make me answer it instead.
But I only have one.
Only one.
Okay. All right.
Unless you're nice.
I'm going to save it. Yep.
Whatever. All right. So go ahead, grab a question. Okay. And if you hate it, throw it back in, grab another one.
What is something that is expensive but worth it? Interesting. A wife. No, I'm just kidding.
Hey, that's what I'm talking about. Amen.
Hey, let's keep that in. No,
honestly,
I'm just kidding.
Though,
honestly, a really nice towel.
Okay. Yes.
Like, it might be a little pricey.
Listen, I have a feeling that we are around the same age and we are learning the same lessons at the same time because that is literally what I just got my husband for his birthday.
Yeah.
Was 2 nice towels.
Yeah. Which
sounds very dull, but
it's very adult. It's like,
very adult.
Hey, I like shampoo and buying soaps and towels.
All right, so you're going to drop your brand or?
Drop my what?
Your favorite towel brand.
Oh, no, because I don't know.
Okay,
I feel them soft and then I'm like, great.
Let me tell you, Southern Living. It's at Dillard's.
Okay.
But yeah, it's the Model Egyptian Cotton Blend.
Oh, wow.
I know. I just bought them for my mom too for Mother's Day.
Okay. What's the most underrated place you've ever traveled to? Underrated. Okay. Every year for the past 3 years, I haven't been able to take a vacation or take my wife on vacation, but I've been able to go to Tombstone / Pierce, Arizona, which is just middle of nowhere, Arizona, where it's just desert and mountains. And I love it.
Okay.
It's beautiful.
What do you do there?
Nothing.
So is it a little bit like just escaping to another planet?
Yeah. I do absolutely nothing.
Okay.
It's awesome.
Another very underrated thing is a vacation where you don't have plans.
Yeah, it's great. People who vacation with plans stress me out. It's just
the itinerary.
Yeah.
Right?
Unless you're going to Disney World, then that makes sense.
Well,
we won't have fun. But yeah.
That's awesome. I love it. I'm going to visit Tombstone someday.
Okay. How many of these am I answering? Because I want to make sure I use this.
Oh, I mean, you don't have to. No pressure.
What is a conspiracy theory you could believe with very little convincing? I did meet this lady This was about a year ago, and I was singing at a baseball game, and she came up to me afterwards, and I won't say exactly, what she took, but she said she walked up to me and immediately said, "I was blind, but now I can see." I was like, "Huh? What are we talking about?" I was like, "That's great." What? And she's like, "No, I've been blind for like a year." I was like, "You mean like physically blind?" She's like, "Yeah, I took this medicine and I had a weird reaction to it. My eyes crossed." And so recently, like 3 days ago, I got surgery and I got my eyes realigned and now I can see. And I was like, dang, so medicine kills us. That's
Okay, so this is a big,
some medicine. Yeah.
So this is a big pharma conspiracy.
Yeah, it's like big pharma, kind of.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I'm on board. You don't even have.
Hey,
to
but I have
anymore.
asthma and I need medicine, so.
Right.
Like,
It's
hey,
all fun and games.
It's all fun and games until you have an asthma attack. But yeah, okay. All right, let's see. Let's make sure it's a good one. Wait, what? How have you been influenced? What have you bought?
Okay, so that specifically talk. Oh, well. Okay, fine. Got me.
Reverse. So, there you go.
Influenced. Okay, I'm trying to even think. Oh yeah, no, I know. Okay, so it's kind of popular right now for girls, especially my age, to be doing Botox.
Okay.
It's not something I have indulged yet myself, but my algorithm knows that I'm seeing it everywhere, right? And so they have offered me the crunchy alternative, which is called Frownies. And they are literal stickers that you like put on your face.
Wow.
And they call it, this is so embarrassing, they call it a cast that you're like are supposed to wear while you sleep.
That makes sense.
And so it's like paper mache that I put on my forehead and I can like tap it.
Yeah.
And it is supposed to freeze my forehead overnight and eventually get rid of the wrinkles.
Wow. You know what? Respect.
I figure it's like a semi-healthier version of Botox, and I'm just going to give it a try. Worst case scenario, my daughter gets really creeped out by it, which has happened.
It is weird, like how like your Instagram feed can influence you so much. Like my wife, I knew she wanted a baby when I pulled up her Instagram feed, and it's all babies.
Stop. That's so real.
Can we do one more?
Yeah, of course.
This is fun. I like it. What is a topic you consider yourself an expert on? Okay, let's not say music, and I'm not an expert in music. So I love movies.
Ooh.
Like I like analyze movies. That's like my downtime thing.
Cinematography.
All that, yeah.
Okay.
I love all that. So I'm not an expert, but like in like the technical side of making movies, but like story wise, I love to like go in and dive in.
So, and that goes into a lot of the writing too, right? Being able to follow that and like see the influence of different.
See how a story works and like.
Yes.
Yeah, it's great.
That's awesome. So what are your favorites?
Oof.
Or at least ones that you can watch over and over again.
I think the Lord of the Rings movies are probably some of my favorite.
Stop. Classic. Don't tell me you went to youth group in the 2000s without that, but okay.
Everybody makes fun of me because I love Star Wars more than anything.
Come on.
But I love like The Godfather and Martin Scorsese movies.
Godfather is not approved by the Joy FM. Go on.
Yes, it's the Mod Father. I don't know.
No, I'm just kidding. No, and those are, I mean, obviously just classics. Do you get into any of the, like, the B films, the, like, this is so bad it's good kind of stuff?
Oh, yeah. I can't remember the name of the movie, but me and my wife...
Was it Shark Tornado?
We haven't watched that one, but we have before. Me and my wife will sit down, do, like, a date night, and watch a bad movie on purpose. Yeah. And it can be so fun.
It's so fun. Yeah. Oh my word. There are movies, they inspire the best conversations with my spouse and I because we're both going like, why did they do that? Why did they even think that was a good storyline? Yeah.
I was going to say the name of a movie, but I don't want anyone to ever watch it. So I'm just going to keep it to myself.
Okay. That's hilarious. And also you're going to tell me what the name of that movie is afterwards. And if you want to know, I'll DM you.
Sweet. I love it.
There you go. Thank you so much, Steven. It's been so awesome to chat with you. And honestly, I feel like we had a very similar upbringing. So like, you know.
Are you a PK?
I'm a little bit. So my mom was like a youth group leader.
Okay, cool.
So
you get it? Yeah.
Yeah. So I definitely slept in some church pews a time or two.
Yep. Love it.
Well, thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you for having me.